Howdy folks, and welcome to Hawkmeyer Outdoors.
And on this episode, we're going over 5 knives that make us happy.
So, you all stay tuned. So this video is sort of a response to Jeff Slavin. He did a 5 knives video, and at the end of his video, he passed the ball to us to do a 5 knives video. So this is what we're coming up with. These knives are in no particular order. And to get this kicked off, I'm going, my first knife is actually 2 knives, but they're made by the same person. These are Stogie Conrad knives. He's a really good friend of the family's. He makes them here locally, hand makes them. The handles here, they're actually antler. Very fine knives, pretty to look at, almost too pretty to use. So that's my first knife of my list of 5.
For my first knife that makes me happy, I'm going with the old hickory that I made. I made this before we started the channel, and this has a lot of good memories to it. I like it because, you know, I kind of made it up to the style that I like, and it's just a good knife. The old hickory modified is the first knife on my list.
For my second knife on my list, I'm going with this Case pocket knife. I'm not sure which model it is. The reason it's one of my favorites has kind of a unique story. I was about 8 years old, and I found this in a gas station parking lot. And I picked it up, and I showed Mom and Dad, and Mom quickly decided that this knife had probably been used in a murder, and somebody threw the knife down. So she told me to get rid of it. Well, being 8 years old, I stuck it in my pocket and didn't say a word and took it home. So I've had it all these years, and it's kind of just sentimental. Makes it one of my favorite knives. Plus, it's just a really classy looking knife.
The next knife that makes me happy is the Spyderco Fred Perrine, not really for sure, street beat knife. It is the most expensive knife that I own. I think I purchased it for about 160 bucks. I believe I found it online for 179, but that's inflation for you, I guess. But one of the best knives that I own, real lightweight, real nice knife to carry, nice fixed blade knife, the Fred Perrine Spyderco.
For my third knife that makes me happy, again, it's a group of knives here. I'm going with Yarnell. He makes these knives in Lagodi, Indiana. I've been buying his knives for years now. I've got a small little collection. But he makes these out of sawmill blades. He hydro cuts them using water to cut out the knife blank. Very good knives. Some of them, though, are a little almost too pretty to use. And they just sit in the safe. But this is the one that I take out and actually gut deer with and cut all kinds of stuff with. So that's my third knife that makes me really happy. Yarnell knives.
Well, surprise, surprise. My next knife is a Yarnell as well. Meyer pointed these out to me, and I wanted to get one for myself. And this one is of a ebony material on the handle. He uses all different kinds of material, camel bone, exotic woods, stuff of that nature. They are made out of a saw blade, all old world materials, really good knife. Again, they're almost kind of too good to use out in the woods, but definitely a good knife. Highly suggest if you got some nice local knife makers out there, go pick yourself up one. But Yarnell, another knife that makes me happy.
This is quickly becoming one of my favorite knives. It's the Gerber Suspension NXT. Never really had a multi-tool. I got this about 2 years ago, and I use this knot out of it. Hawkins has one just like it as well. So look for a review coming on that in the upcoming months.
For my fourth happiest knife, I guess you could say, I'm going with the Mora knife Consville. It lives on my Hill People gear pack via this adapter thing here that you can put on Molly and stuff like that. You have to purchase that separate, but it can go on a lot of different things, and it's a great knife. This thing is surgical sharp. When you get it, it's just a good knife, and I got a lot of good memories because it is attached to this. And this thing has been at a lot of places. It's been across the planet all the way to Alaska. But great knife. I would suggest you get one.
To round out my knives that make me happy, I went with the Jeff White knives. Now you might have saw that on our Christmas video. That was one of my top picks for my Christmas list. So great knives. They're relatively inexpensive. Made right here in Indiana. Got 2 of them. So I'm gonna put these knives to the paces, and hopefully we'll have maybe a review video in a few months when I actually get some time behind them. So that's my 5th knife, Jeff White.
For my final knife that makes me happy, I wanted to go with a bayonet style knife. Growing up, I always wanted a gun that could have a bayonet on it, and an AK was one of my first rifles that I bought, and it came with a bayonet. Not this one, but a different one. This is a nice Polish one that I got. But this is knives that make us happy, not my knives that work the best or anything like that. I always wanted a bayonet, and bayonet is a knife of some sort. And yeah, I just really like this knife.
So there you have it, folks. 5 knives that make us happy.
Yeah, both went over 5 of our choices. Hey, if you got one that makes you happy, put it in the comments if you want. Jeff Slavin gave us a shout out last time on his 5 knives. Go check him out, great channel. But we're going to give a shout out to Let's NTB in KY. Great little channel, highly enjoy it. The guy goes all around Indiana, Kentucky, doing mountain biking, camping and stuff like that. We'll put a link in the description below. But I want to thank you all for coming along. Thanks for all that you do. You have a good one.